Strefstway. So I want you to picture this. You're driving through southern Poland.
Okay.
Maybe you're on a road trip, heading from Krakow down toward the Beskid Mountains.
Right, yeah, it's a super common route for that area.
Exactly. And if you're like most travelers, your brain is kind of pre-programmed for what to expect on this specific stretch of highway.
Oh, totally. You're bracing for, heavy industry.
Right. You're mentally preparing for just another gray, utilitarian, industrial town. You're looking out the window, you expect factory chimneys, maybe some concrete blocks, highway overpasses.
Just a place you drive right through.
Yeah, exactly. But then, say you pull off the road for a quick coffee, you walk a few blocks, and suddenly you are just completely surrounded by jaw-dropping Art Nouveau architecture.
It's jarring in the best way.
It really is. You're standing on these cobblestone streets, watching this really vibrant cafe culture unfold.
Yeah.
And then there's a massive Alpine-style mountain range looming right at the literal edge of the city streets.
It's basically the ultimate bait and switch. I mean, you pull over expecting a functional pit stop, and you stumble into a place that feels like someone took, 3 or 4 entirely different European capitals and just brilliantly smashed them together into one valley.
Yes, smashed together is the perfect way to put it.
Because you have the architectural grandeur of Vienna, right? But then the manufacturing grit of Manchester. And then, weirdly, the quirky pop culture obsession of a completely different era.
All just sitting there in the shadow of pristine wilderness.
Exactly.
Well, welcome to Bielsko-Biała. That is the actual name of this place. And unpacking how this single Polish city manages to perfectly blend all those incredibly conflicting identities is what we're doing today on this deep dive.
It's such a great topic because Bielsko-Biała is proof that a place can completely defy standard travel categories.
Right, because usually you go to Rome for ancient history or, the Swiss Alps for mountains. Everything is usually neat and tidy.
But places that don't fit into those neat little boxes are often the most culturally rich. I mean, to really understand how a place gets this wildly diverse, you have to look at the bedrock.
How it was formed.
Exactly. And the foundation of Bielsko-Biała is totally unique because it isn't actually one city.
Okay, let's unpack this. We are basically looking at a twin city situation here.
Yeah, quite literally. So for centuries, you had Bielsko on one side of a very small river located in the region of Silesia.
Okay.
And on the other bank, you had Biała, which was located in Lesser Poland. And they were separated by nothing more than the little Bialo River.
So they were basically just neighbors staring at each other across the water.
Right. They shared a border, they interacted constantly, but they were legally and administratively distinct entities. They actually didn't officially merge into a single city until 1951.
Wow. Which really isn't that long ago in the grand scheme of European history. I mean, that's post-World War II.
Yeah, it's very recent.
But their real connection, like the architectural and cultural bond that makes the city look the way it does today, that happened much earlier, right? Like late 19th century.
Spot on.
Yeah.
So in the late 19th century, both of these halves found themselves absorbed into the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Okay.
And at this specific time, the region was experiencing an economic boom that is honestly hard to overstate. This area was just exploding with wealth, and it was entirely driven by the textile industry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were talking about local industrialists making absolute fortunes seemingly overnight.
And that's when the status anxiety kicks in, right?
Oh, big time.
Because when you have that much new provincial money in the late 1800s, you don't just build a nice house. You want to flex.
You really do.
You want to prove to the cultural elite that you aren't just some backwater factory town. You want to show you belong in the exact same conversation as the capital.
And that's exactly what they did. These textile barons essentially decided to buy their way into high society. So they completely bypassed local builders and went straight to the top.
Meaning Vienna.
Meaning Vienna. They hired Viennese architects. They commissioned these grand, sweeping structures in the most opulent Viennese fashion possible.
They were just importing the aesthetic of the empire's capital right to their doorstep.
Literally.
Yeah.
They wanted the grand facades, the ornate detailing, the sweeping staircases.
And the result of that massive spending spree is why the city is nicknamed Little Vienna today.
Yeah, and you walk through the historic center, and that ambition is just baked into the stone.
It really is. Like, take the St. Nicholas Cathedral, which just dominates the old town skyline. It has these medieval roots, sure, but it got a massive, imposing rebuild in the early 20th century just to match the new wealth.
Right.
Or look at the Theater Polski, the Polish theater.
Oh, the theater is the ultimate case study in this new wealth. So it was initially designed by a Viennese architect named Emil von Forster.
Okay, pretty prestigious.
But that wasn't enough for them. It was actually later remodeled by the Fellner and Helmer studio.
Wait, really?
Yeah. And if you study architectural history, Fellner and Helmer were like the undisputed superstar firm of the era.
They were huge.
They were the ones designing the most famous acoustically perfect theaters in Budapest, Prague, and Vienna itself.
So having them design your local provincial theater was basically the 19th century equivalent of having, I don't know, a star architect build a contemporary art museum in your hometown.
Exactly. It was the ultimate status symbol.
And you wander around the Old Town Rheineck, the market square, and you have the cobblestones, a beautiful modern Neptune fountain, and these grand, intricate facades that look like they were plucked right out of Prague.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
But we have to contrast all of that aristocratic beauty with what was actually paying the bills, right? Because this city had a second nickname.
The Silesian Manchester.
Yes, which is such a wild contrast.
Well, all of that Viennese elegance, the gold leaf, the velvet theater seats, it was entirely funded by heavy, deafening, gritty industry.
Right.
Between the wars, this valley was literally teeming with dozens and dozens of textile mills pumping out what became globally famous as Bielsko wool.
It's like someone tucking a pristine silk pocket square into the front pocket of a pair of heavy, grease-stained denim work overalls.
That is a perfect analogy.
You have this booming, loud, dirty manufacturing process directly funding this lavish, quiet, aristocratic architecture. The tension between those two worlds is just fascinating.
You can actually still feel that tension physically if you visit the Stara Fabrika, the old textile mill.
Oh, the museum.
Yeah, it's a branch of the local historical museum, and it's located right inside a former spinning mill. They have preserved the entire production process of the era.
That's incredible.
It really is. You start with raw, dirty, grease-laden sheep's wool.
Yeah.
And you follow the mechanical process surrounded by these massive, heavy iron spinning frames and looms.
Which must have been unbelievably loud.
Oh, deafening. And you follow it all the way to the finished, highly coveted Bielsko wool cloth that was being exported all across Europe.
It definitely gives you a profound appreciation for the intense physical labor that built all that beauty outside the factory walls.
Totally.
But what's really compelling to me is that despite all this imposing grand history, the actual vibe of the city isn't stuffy or pretentious at all.
Not even a little bit.
There's this charming anecdote from one of the sources about a traveler who was walking through that beautiful medieval square.
Oh, I love this story.
Right. So they let out a massive echoing sneeze. And instead of getting like dirty looks from the people sitting in the elegant cafes.
Which you might expect in a place that looks like Vienna.
Exactly. But instead, the entire crowd turned around and in unison yelled, "Na zdrowie."
Bless you.
Yeah, which means bless you in Polish. It's just so wholesome.
It perfectly captures the character of the locals. There is a straightforwardness and a warmth there. They completely lack the pretentious air you sometimes find in cities burdened by grand imperial architecture.
Yeah, they know they live in a beautiful place, but they don't feel the need to be snobs about it. And I think that lack of pretension becomes incredibly obvious when you look at what happened to the city's identity next. Because Bielsko-Biała didn't just, freeze in its 19th century grandeur.
It kept evolving.
It developed a playful, quirky, and distinctly modern Polish identity that completely juxtaposes those heavy Austro-Hungarian buildings. We're talking about a massive cultural pivot into pop culture.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is how this city influenced the childhoods and daily lives of literally millions of people across Eastern Europe.
It's so unexpected.
It really is. The city became a genuine stronghold of Polish animation.
Yeah.
So in 1956, right during the Cold War era, the Studio Filmo Rysankwicz was founded there.
Okay.
Which today is associated with the Oko Cartoon and Animation Center. And over the decades, this single studio produced over 1,000 animated films.
Over 1,000. And these weren't just obscure art house projects either.
No, not at all.
They created absolute cultural juggernauts for Eastern Europe. I mean, classics like Bolek and Lolek, The Adventures of Two Mischievous Brothers, and Rexio the dog.
Iconic characters.
If you grew up in Eastern Europe in the second half of the 20th century, your childhood imagination was largely shaped by the animators working right here in Bielsko-Biała.
It's a huge legacy, and the animation industry thrived here, partly because children's media often allowed for more creative freedom and subtle expression during what was a very politically complex era.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the animators developed a highly distinct, celebrated visual style, and the city is just immensely proud of this.
Oh, they lean into it hard. Like, you can be walking past a grand 19th century neo-Renaissance building, turn the corner, and boom, find a bronze statue of a cartoon dog.